Welcome to Harmony and Improvisation with Doub Pearce, a podcast dedicated to helping musicians of all levels to play better music. Join us in these upcoming episodes as we explore the ins and outs of major diatonic harmony. Visit us at harmonyimprov.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform. Partner with us at patreon.com/harmonyimprov. Welcome once again to Harmony and Improvisation. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Thanks for coming back. I hope the last one wasn't too crazy. The thing I'd like to say, just to kind of cap off that last thing, I'm trying to show you where these notes come from. Not necessarily that you fully understand them yet. You will. We're going to move on, but I just want you to see that how it works. It's very simple concepts, just like taking the 2, 4, and 6 of any major note set taking a scale or a note set, starting on any note of what's called a parent scale or a parent note set, a major note set, extending that up 7 notes, and then pulling the 2, 4, and 6 out of that, throwing it up top. You get a very nice, beautiful sound, which I'm going to illustrate here. We are going to go back through C, and I want you to see what these sounds are and how they work. Again, after this little intro to diatonic, where diatonic harmony and these 4 basic chord types come from, I want you to see, I want you to know that we're going to go back and we're going to do some rote memorization on all keys of just the 4-note chords. You're not going to have to see the extension notes. So you kind of can put that to the side. We'll look at those more when we delve into the modes, which is all 7 notes of each modal sound created from each different of 7 notes of a major parent scale or major note set. I hope I haven't driven you all away by now. Okay, back to these extensions of chords and what they sound like. First of all, just the basic sounds. Let's look at how these chords sound in context with one another. In C major note set, the 1 chord is major 7. The 2 chord is minor 7. The 3 chord is minor 7. Going down an octave. It's a 3 chord. The 4 chord is major 7. The 5 chord is dominant 7. The 6 chord is minor 7. And the 7 chord is minor 7 flat 5, or half diminished. Back to the 1 chord. Very pretty, right? Which major is? Major is a very pretty note set. C major 7, B minor 7 flat 5, A minor 7, G7, F major 7, E minor 7, D minor 7, and C major 7. Very pretty. Sing or play with me, or let's say these notes. C, E, G, B, G, E, C. D, F, A, C, A, F, D, E, G, B, D, B, G, E, F, A, C, E, C, A, F, G, B, D, F, D, B, G, A, C, E, G, E, C, A, B, D, F, A, F, D, B, back to C, E, C, E, G, B. Hear how nice those sound together? Because they all come from the same note set, and each chord has a function. We talked about those before. 4 chords, 2 chords, 5 chords, 1 chords, 6 chord, 2 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord. The chords that you look at, like the 3 chord, E, it has a function too. It's really more of an extender of the 1 chord in this case. You see how C, E, G, B. Well, if you go up to the E, E, G, B, D, that's just an extension. You notice how the E, G, B is the same notes as the 3, 5, and 7 of the C chord. E, G, B, D. It throws a 9 up on top. It just extends that chord. It's not a substitute, but an extension. So if you were playing in a band and a bass player was playing, and you wanted to play a part of a C major 7 chord, see how that sounds so beautiful, C major 9. Yeah, very pretty. So I would highly recommend getting used to these 7 major 7 sounds and realize that they're all 4-note chords, and there are only 4 different ones. Major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5, and major 7. 4 basic chord types. I would, on your instrument, in your head, singers, I would go over these, and we're going to go over them time and time again as we go through the next several keys, all the keys. And now, again, lesson done, right? But now, just for those interested, let's look and see what happens, how these extensions sound with the basic chord types. C major 7. Well, if you take a D minor, or again, remember that DFA came from the next note up from the C and a minor chord, that minor triad, right? So that those 2 sounds together, or if you want to take it up way up high, that's the sound of a major 7 with a natural 9, 11, and 13 up top. So let's look at those. C, E, G, B, D, F, A. Or C, E, G, B, D, F, A. And sometimes you'll hear close voicings like that. And the bass player might be playing. He might be hanging right on that C. Well, they're outlining a C major 7. Again, I use the word caveat a lot. One of the things you have to really watch out for, chordally for sure, but also in playing improvisations and playing lines, is the notes that sit right next to chord tones, basic chord tones. In this in this stack of notes, you'll notice that the F, that F is right next to the E, and it wants to pull back to that E. So, and it kind of sounds bad when thrown in there. It kind of sounds bad. So that's what a lot of people call an avoid note. I don't like to call it an avoid note because it can be used as, it can be used like as a sus to so you're not avoiding it. You're just, it's just kind of making a mental note that if you're playing that note strongly in the chord, it can sound weird, especially with the E beside it. You make up your mind if you want that in that first chord. Now, there are others that we avoid as we go through these, but some you'll notice we don't avoid at all because they're really not parts of the basic chord tones, or the chord tones accept the half steps better. I don't know if that's a good way of putting it, but anyway, let's look at the next one. D Dorian, or D minor 7. And if you play an E minor next to it, I can't get up there. Those are the notes that go with it. Well, all those notes are going to sound pretty good together. So if I were to play, those all sound pretty good. And again, you'll find out more as we study modes. But the D minor with the E minor over the top, D minor 7 with an E minor stacked on top, D, F, A, C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, B. Now this next one, this is going to throw you for a loop a little bit. E, G, B, D, F, A, C. At first outset, you'd think maybe those notes stacked together might not work, right? Sounds weird. But this modal sound is, when we get into modes, we'll reiterate that this is called Spanish Phrygian, and it has a definitely cool sound, and it works. It just works. The chords that happen, a lot because this sound. Sound good together. So, E, G, B, D, F, A, C. Believe it or not, it kind of works. Yeah, I mean, there's no... This, I know it's confusing, but it'll be more obvious when you hear these later on. That's really not... That F to E is not an avoid note. It's a cool sound. All right. G. G, B, D, F... A, C, E. G, B, D, F, A, C, E. The A, C, and E is a natural 9, 11, and 13 of the G7 chord, so it's very consonant sounding. All those notes are... Whoops, not that note. Those notes all sound great on top of the G7 chord. A minor, A, C, E, G, A minor 7 with a B, D, F on top. Again, that may sound kind of dissonant, and maybe you do want to avoid if you're hanging on an A minor chord. But what you're going to find is, and I think we did it in the last chord changes, simple chord changes analysis. You found that we did F to G to A minor. Well, there's your. Well, there's did I say G minor? I meant A minor. F to G to A minor. That those notes, that F note works up top because it's F, G, A minor. So that sound, even though it's a half step, it still sort of works. All right, the last one. I'm probably just frustrating you guys so much, but the last one, B minor 7 flat 5 with a C E G on top. That's is very weird because again, not to go crazy on this, but the B minor 7 flat 5, if you go look down at the G7 chord, G, B, D, F, and then go up to the B, D, F, A, that's just an extension of the G7 chord. And that G7 chord, it wants to resolve to what? C. So it wants to, but so does the B minor 7 flat 5. What am I doing? Yeah, okay, sorry. B minor 7 flat 5 wants to go back to the C. B minor 7 flat 5 wants to go back to the C. Good grief. B minor 7 flat 5 wants to go back to the C. B minor 7 flat 5 wants to go back to the C. So the point is that C, E, G is going to create a lot of tension at the very least. Are they avoid notes? No, but they're going to create a lot of tension, but they will work, and you'll see that as we move forward. Okay, I think that's going to cover it. I think that's going to cover it for this lesson. If I go any further, I've already moved off this rabbit hole as far as I can go, and now I'm going to probably lose all the people who are interested in this class. We'll see you next time.